Adolf Hitler's early understanding of propaganda was profoundly shaped by his experiences in Vienna, a city teeming with political activity and diverse ideologies. Vienna was a melting pot of political ideologies, where various groups vied for influence and power. It was here that Hitler first encountered the power of organized propaganda, witnessing firsthand how it could shape public opinion. He observed the Marxist socialists using it effectively to rally support and spread their message. They used pamphlets and leaflets to spread their message and attack their opponents, saturating the streets with their ideology. Hitler was struck by their methods. They held massive rallies that drew large crowds. They distributed pamphlets widely. They used simple, emotional language that resonated with the common people, making their message accessible and powerful. Their target was the masses, the everyday citizens who could be swayed by powerful rhetoric. Hitler was disgusted by their message. He despised their ideology and what they stood for. However, he could not deny the effectiveness of their methods. He saw how they could influence and mobilize people. He saw how they could sway public opinion with passionate speeches and well-crafted messages. He saw how they could mobilize the masses, turning ordinary citizens into fervent supporters. This left a lasting impression on him, shaping his future strategies. This experience planted the seeds of his future propaganda machine, which he would later use to devastating effect. World War I was another formative experience for Hitler. It was during this time that he began to understand the immense power of propaganda. He witnessed firsthand how propaganda could shape public opinion and influence the masses. He saw how both sides used it to rally support for their causes, mobilizing entire nations. He observed how propaganda was used to demonize the enemy, turning them into monstrous figures in the eyes of the public. He paid close attention to the Allied propaganda, noting its effectiveness. He believed it was particularly effective in stirring emotions and galvanizing support. Hitler was critical of German propaganda efforts. He found it to be weak, uncoordinated, and lacking the emotional punch needed to inspire the masses. In contrast, he admired the sophistication and organization of the Allied efforts. He saw how they used simple emotional messages to great effect, resonating deeply with the public. He studied these techniques meticulously, learning from both their successes and their failures. He realized the importance of a centralized propaganda machine, one that could control the narrative and ensure consistency. He understood the need for simple, emotional messages that could be easily understood and remembered by the public. He grasped the power of repetition and imagery, recognizing how repeated exposure could reinforce ideas and beliefs. These lessons would prove invaluable later, as he applied them to his own propaganda campaigns with devastating effect. Hitler's imprisonment in Landsberg provided him with the opportunity to reflect deeply on his past actions and future ambitions. He had ample time to contemplate his experiences, both personal and political. He had time to formulate his own ideas, meticulously planning his vision for Germany's future. It was during this period of introspection and planning that he wrote Mein Kampf, a book that would become infamous. This book outlines his political ideology, detailing his thoughts on race, leadership, and the future of Germany. It also lays out his views on propaganda, which he saw as a powerful tool for shaping public opinion. Hitler believed that propaganda should appeal to the emotions of the people, stirring their feelings and passions. He believed it should be simple and repetitive, ensuring that the message was easily understood and remembered. He believed it should target the masses, reaching as many people as possible to create a unified front. He argued that the masses were driven by emotion, not reason, and that effective propaganda should exploit this. He believed that propaganda should be used to create a sense of national unity, binding the people together under a common cause. He believed it should be used to mobilize the masses behind the Nazi Party, galvanizing support for his political agenda. He saw propaganda as an essential tool for achieving political power, a means to an end in his quest for dominance. Hitler put his theories into practice when he came to power. He established a powerful propaganda ministry. This ministry was headed by Joseph Goebbels. Goebbels was a master of propaganda. He understood Hitler's vision. He implemented it with ruthless efficiency. The Nazi propaganda machine was all-encompassing. It controlled all aspects of German media. They controlled the press, they controlled the radio, they controlled the film industry.